Hey guys, where was I? Oh my gosh. Hey guys, welcome to Becca Scoops Live. I am so excited that you guys are joining me. I have a very exciting and interesting show for you. You guys are going to love this. It is going to be good. So sit back, get your snacks, get your beverage of choice. It is Friday. If you want to have a little alcohol, hey, go ahead, do it, you know, because this is going to be a kind of a bumpy ride, too. We're going to be going over some things that not a lot of people focus on. Of course, we're going to continue to look at some of these behind the scenes leaks that were happening. I've got some new stuff for you guys to take a look at. We're going to get to that. Also, we're going to get to Gypsy and what's going on with her social media accounts. Is she gone from TikTok? Well, we know she's trying to beef up this backup account now that is her 9 million account is gone. And I've got some information on that too that you guys aren't going to want to miss that at all. And kind of keeping in line with that theme, how did we get here? Who and what made Gypsy Rose think that she could be this celebrity? Who and what fed her ego to make her think it was possible? How did we get here? Why does she keep trying and trying and trying to make it happen? I'm going to show you guys how all of that went down behind the scenes. You're not going to want to miss that at all. Okay. So I've been watching the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Let me get to some of your comments before we get going hot and heavy in this show. Got your for the replay crew, we've got the comments now on the screen so everyone can see what you guys are saying. I know they really appreciate that, the replay crew, seeing what you guys have to say, because the chat in this show is half the fun, if not almost 90% of the fun. I know that. So you guys are on fire. All right. Let's get to a few of these, shall we? We got Lanky Tour 6396 1999. I just can't believe Gypsy's lack of empathy. I don't doubt she would do it again. This time she has practice in taking a life brutally. Her own mother. Love you, Becca. Thank you for the truth train. Love you, chat. Well, Lanky Tor, we love you right back. Thank you for this comment. I couldn't agree with you more on all of this. And I think there will be some evidence tonight that I'm going to show that you are spot on, Lanky. Okay. Next up, we've got Katie or Caddy Cat Stuffs 5631. Welcome them aboard. They have become a member on the Truth Train. Thank you so much, Caddy. Love to have you. And we've got Forest Friend coming in, gifting one Becca Scoops membership. Forest Friend, of course, an OG to the channel. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Then we've got Claire Power, one of our most favorites, who's always here for us, who has always supported us, who's come in with gifting 5 Becca Scoops memberships. Claire, you always humble us. I'm so happy to see you in chat. Next up, we got Delphi Hayes for £2, another who's becoming a real regular in the chat. And they say that wig reminds me of Warzel Gummidge. Okay, guys, I don't know who that is, so let me know. If it's a Harry Potter thing, I won't know because I never really got into Harry Potter. So, Delphi, you'll have to clue me in so I know. And I'm sure it's hysterical. I'm sure it is. Next up, we've got an OG Run Axe member for a whole year, 12 months as a member, but an OG subscriber. Yeah, well, we didn't open memberships except for a year ago. And actually, we just had our 2-year anniversary on the Becca Scoops channel. It was 2 years ago in April that Mitch and I put out our first deep dive on Gypsy. In fact, we're going to be going over not that first one, but well, I'm not going to let me keep you waiting of what surprises I have for you guys coming up in this live. And next up, we love her. We all know her. Granny Grossa, always coming in with a ton of memberships for everybody. I can't thank you enough, Granny. You are really a great supporter of this channel. Thank you so much. 20 Becca Scoops memberships. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. And next up, we got PGH Deb 412, member for 4 months. Becca, thank you for the entertainment. Well, Deb, thank you for being here. I know who you are. I see you in chat all the time. You are also passionate supporter. Thanks for being here so much. And we got Lisa Evans, one of our most favorites. Lisa, member for a whole year. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. Yeah, and she says, yay, 1 whole year on the truth train. Lisa, you know how much I value your membership. Thank you so much for being here. And next up, Lisa Evans gifted 1 Becca Scoops membership. So generous, Lisa. Thank you so much. I'm sure whoever got that needs to thank Lisa. And coming back, Granny Grossa spoiling the Becca Scoops channel, showing the support with 10 gifted memberships. You guys make sure you thank Granny Grossa. Granny is just I don't know. I don't have the words to describe such a loyal supporter. Thank you so much. And next up, we've got Carla Bergeron. I'm sorry if I'm screwing up your last name, Carla, who's been a member for 3 months. And I also know your name, Carla. I'm sorry if I screw it up. And she writes, Becca, please tell me you're not working with David Blanchard. Let's settle it, shall we? Let's settle it. I can't believe it. All right. No, I don't work with anyone. I don't work with anyone. Okay. I would say a colleague of mine is Lori, and we are together. Well, I guess you could say we are working together on this docu-series. Now, to get a docu-series done, and if you think about past crime documentaries, okay? Think about, I don't know, just think of one, right? Think of shows like Dateline 2020, right? The crime shows. And what happens in those shows? Well, they interview people, right? They interview people around the crime. If Lori Vallow, you guys know her, the mom, the Utah mom, was it Utah, or I don't know where she was from, the Mormon mom who ended up being convicted for murdering her own kids. She's in her documentaries, right? That doesn't mean people think Lori Vallow is a good person. It doesn't mean people think Lori Vallow didn't do anything wrong, right? So when we talk about, does that mean the people that made the documentary are working with Lori Vallow? Well, no, of course not. That's ludicrous. That's ludicrous, right? So I can promise you a few things about the docuseries we're working on. I've never made one. So there's a big production company that's behind it who's made many documentaries. Okay. And so it's not up to me. They know what they're doing. Okay. And of course, I would suspect in a documentary about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, you're going to have possibly Gypsy's family members. You're going to have interviewed, right? You're going to have people that lived in the neighborhood interviewed. You're going to have the detectives interviewed, right? You're going to have all those people interviewed. Does that mean you're working with those people? No, it doesn't mean you're working with those people. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, if there's something unclear about how a documentary works, email me. Because even though I've never made one, I understand how one works because I've watched enough of them, right? So I would suspect, even in this case, although I can't say this for sure, but I know just from working in journalism for 8 years that the ethical thing to do when you're making a documentary about someone, and this someone would be Gypsy Rose Blanchard, is that you would reach out to that person to get their comment. Hey, what do you think about this, Gypsy? That's how that's the drama. That's how it works. That's how a documentary works, okay? So, I hope that clears it up. And I'm probably wasted way too much time on that. So, no, I mean, Lori is somebody that I'm partnered with. We are, doing this together, but we don't work with anyone else. No, except for the production company. That's it. So I hope that clears it up. What you're thinking about are who would be interviewed or who would be what's called contributors. Well, a lot of people you'll like, and a lot of people you probably won't like, you know, but the whole documentary, the only reason they even want to make this is because of the new evidence that has come to life. How shocking it is. How shocking as what the story, what we all know, why we're here, right? We were all sold a fake narrative and we all learned the truth. And now big production companies are interested in telling that truth. That's what's happening. Very interested. And it's coming along. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys understand. And I'm just going to shut up now because I know I've spoken too much about it. But for some reason, I got emails about this. People were up in arms about this. I don't even know where this comes from. But whoever's saying that is not right in the head. Okay. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay. So I can say this, that we did reach out to people that knew people to say, hey, do you know this person? Can you get us in contact with this person? That would be the extent of like people that you may know in this community that we reached out to. Like, hey, do you know this person? Do you know this person? Do you have the contact info for this person? That's it. That was the sum total extent of that correspondence, Okay. All right. So I hope that clears it up. Now I don't know where I'm at. Now I don't know where I'm at because that has been a thing for like a few days. Just blowing my mind how people talk out of their asses about other people's business. They don't know what they're talking about, obviously. It don't make any sense. Okay. So, okay, I think I see that one. Did I put this one? Lisa, yeah, I did that one. So I'm down. Okay, I see where I am here. That one. Okay, I didn't do that one yet. Wait, I want to make sure I got that one. Yep. Okay. All right. So that was Carla. Okay, Carla, I hope that explains it. I hope that alleviates any fears you have that something hinky is going on behind the scenes, or it's, we're I just think it's comical. David Blanchard is co-sponsoring a documentary about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. What? I don't know. I know, and I'm sad that people said that to you, and I'm sad that they lie to you. I'm sorry. It's lies. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But Carla, I appreciate you asking me about it. If you need to know anything, like I say, just email me. Come to the source. I will tell you what's going on. All right. Next up, we got Main Chick Carrie, member for 12 months. Thank you, Main Chick Carrie. Woohoo. 1 year, Becca. Yes, Main Chick Carrie. 1 year. I'm so happy that you're here. Glad to see you. You're another person that's always in the chat, always being supportive. So thank you. We'll do a few more, guys. This is LJNEFF97, $1.99. Hi from Denver. Hope you're watching, Gypsy. Well, we know she can't not watch, whether she's watching right now, or I'm sure she is. I mean, she can't help herself, right? She can't help herself. Okay. Next up, one of our favorites, Estiana 76, $4.99. Hey y'all, Becca Scoops driving the truth train, stopping at a station near you. Feel free to hop aboard. Love to all from Scotland. Well, Estiana, I love Scotland. I love that you're up late. I hope you can stay awake. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. And thanks so much for the donation, Estiana. I appreciate that. And a few more. Maria Moore, 1976. 1976 was a good year, probably the year of your birth, maybe, Maria. I don't know who gifted one Becca Scoops membership. Maria, thank you. So generous of you. I really appreciate it. And a few more. This is I'm not sure how to say it, PIKAQUAZA, $2. Hey, Becca, much love from Angel and Little Binks. Well, thank you so much. Oh, look at your kitty. I see your kitty in the picture. Keekins is right here. She's right here. You can see her. See the black and white fur? Yeah, she's right here. And thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate that. And Connie Blue Sky 72, member for 2 months, made it just in time to chew. Well, Connie, you did. You're in for a great show. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's do one more. Maria Moore gifted one Becca Scoops membership. Thank you, Maria Moore. I really appreciate that. And just one more. Citizen Jenks X, $5. Our defense is starting to work, choo choo. Yes. And that's kind of what this show is going to be about. We are going to take a whole look at her as she calls herself an influencer, right? So we'll end off there. And then you know how we do it mid-show. We'll get back to some of your comments and questions if you have any. Okay. So let me go ahead and get to my studio here where I have everything that I want to share with you guys tonight. And I want to thank all of the mods. You guys are doing such a great job. I want to thank you individually. Hopefully tonight I'll get around to doing that. You guys are the unsung heroes of this channel. So thank you guys. Thanks. You guys thank the mods because they do a great job and I really appreciate it. Okay. So remember our last live. What happened on our last live? Well, that is when we found out about this, right? We found out about Gypsy's TikTok account getting banned. In fact, it was only about 24 hours after I was going to go live on Thursday and then I delayed it because I wanted the developments to happen when I found out she was banned. So it's been a week and a day that TikTok account has been banned. And I have some up-to-date info actually from Gypsy herself that I believe may be kind of behind the scenes. I'm not sure. She's in this correspondence. She's writing to her Gyp Babes, which is the most cringy name I've ever heard of. Can you imagine me calling you guys the Becca Babes? I mean, how narcissistic? What? The Becca Babes. I mean, it's ridiculous. She's a grown woman. Why would you want to be called a Gyp Babe? Why would anyone want to be called anyone's babe like that? I mean, you're like a narcissist, right? Okay. Anyways, tangent. Let me get back on course here. All right. So it was banned, right? And all of us have been kind of waiting. Is it a done deal? Is it for good? Do we have a victory on our hands? I think yes. I think yes. So first up, let's go to this. I think this was yesterday. She wrote this. Dear followers, as I await the final decision regarding my I think it was 9.2. I think it was really 9.1, Gypsy, to be honest with you. Most of them, half of them bots account. It has given me time to reflect on the type of content I post and as fun as it is to show my fun side. Well, you can call it your fun side. I think it's your cringy side. Fun side. Other videos may have been seen as offensive. You think? And for that, I apologize. Oh, right. Your heartfelt apologies. You always taking accountability. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. She goes on, I am navigating life, and what you're seeing unfold is two parts of myself. One that is living out a young adulthood that was stolen from me. Wait, quick pause here. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Gypsy say she had a forced childhood? So she had a forced childhood. She was forced to go to Disney and have those trips. It was forced on her. And now, and now her young adulthood was stolen from her. Now, let me see, Gypsy. For something to be stolen from you, that means somebody took it from you. Somebody took it from you. Gypsy, you were in prison because you murdered your mother. You were in prison for during your 20s because you murdered your mother. Nothing was stolen from you. You stole your mother's life. I mean, the audacity of what she writes sometimes. Tone deaf, right? Tone deaf. She goes on. And another is the part of me so many wish to see succeed. Yeah, I think you can count those people on one hand, Gypsy, that want to see you succeed. I appreciate all the love and support and continued hope for a better future for me. Well, she wrote that before she wrote what I'm going to show you all now. Okay. All right. So this is from some account that it says Gypsy Rose admin, right? And so she writes, so this is from today. So my initial appeal for my main TikTok account was denied. However, I am not banned from TikTok itself. They said I can create a new account. I know, you guys, which I already have. Yeah, we know. And have a healthy following already. Well, it's nowhere near, it's not even near 1 million. In fact, fun fact, guys, Ryan Anderson has over 800,000 followers on TikTok. Gypsy has a little over 200,000. I think Gypsy needs some clout from Ryan at this point over on TikTok. But let me go on to say what Gypsy told her Gyp babes. As you can see there in the middle column, this is to the Gyp babes, whoever the F the Gyp babes are, all 3 of them, I would say 3 or 4 people probably. Okay, I am allowed a second appeal, so I will go that route as well. Now she's going to go on to a diatribe here. Because I have some of the most dedicated haters on the internet, and the violations that I did have on my account are from 2024, December 27th of 2024 to be specific, the same night that my account was hacked by a man in Turkey, and he was attempting to sell my account to the highest. Okay, she wrote bitter, Bitter. I'm usually not one to make fun of spelling because I love a spell check myself, but no, it wasn't the highest bitter, like a bitter person, like not sweet, but bitter. It's you guys know how to spell it. Jesus. And when I was able to access back to my account, he had already racked up 3 violations that stayed on my account. Gypsy, can I just say something right here? TikTok would know that. They would know if your account was hacked. They would not be holding you responsible for that. This is Gypsy spinning another tale, just like she spun when she killed her mom. Of course, not as heavy, getting your, but she's spinning this to her Gyp babes. So the Gyp babes don't think that she did anything wrong. God forbid Gypsy ever acknowledged that she did something wrong in her TikTok account, like make fun of her mom being murdered. But I digress. Let's get back to this. He had already racked up 3 violations that stayed on my account. So when I was falsely mass reported, it triggered the system, and the system only recognized those violations. I went a year and a half, a little over a year and a half with no issues on my account. I'm going to call BS on that. Even with those violations, I'm going to call BS on that, and I will get to that too. But the mass reporting tripped something in the system. The good news is I'm able to have another account. Oh, yay. Yay. On the platform, which I am working on getting verified. I'm going to have to take your comments off for a minute. Where are the comments? Okay. And it does kind of suck losing an account with 9 million followers. Yes, but at the same time, I've had a love-hate relationship with that account. Okay, that's odd having a love-hate relationship with a social media account. Hmm. For a long time, I would go through times of wanting to delete it because 9 million followers is a lot of pressure. Oh, right, right. I mean, oh, woe is you, Gypsy. Woe is you. You have 9 million people following you on a social media account. I mean, how do you do it, girl? How do you get through the day? And a lot of eyes with various opinions. And I have noticed that for everyone opinion, there's an opposing opinion. For example, if I take a picture with my daughter and post it, some will say I'm exploiting my daughter if I don't post about my daughter. Then supposedly I'm never with her. I don't even have custody of her. If I do trend you videos with friends on my own age, people will be like, why are you hanging out with these old folks? Then if I do a trend with someone in their 20s, then it's why can't you hang out with someone your own age? Gypsy, that's the least of the criticism about you, who you do your trend videos with. It's that you're targeting minors with them. Okay. That's the, uh, then if I don't post Ken consistently, the time there's breakup rumors. LOL. Okay. Let's go on. We've got more. Hold on here. Um, I right there. This is I blew up what she got from TikTok here. It says through review of your appeal, we have confirmed that your account will remain permanently banned due to a violation on our community guidelines. Then yada 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 yada, and then down here it does says you're welcome to join the TikTok community again by creating a new account. Over here, she goes on to say, at the end of the day, I know the truth of who I am. Whatever that means. I know that I am a damn good mother. You know what? I think she protests too much. You know that saying? The lady doth protest too much. You know what that means? It means if something is really bothering you and really it means you're not a good mother. It means you're protesting too much about something. It's just so funny to come across videos of people that are like, she's never with her daughter. She doesn't take care of her daughter. She's a terrible mother because she made a 20-second video that doesn't have her daughter in it. So she's therefore never with her daughter. Sometimes I sit back and just listen to the stupidity. It gives me a good laugh. Gypsy, you ain't laughing about any of this. You are big bothered, girlfriend. That's for sure. She ends. That is what is happening. Okay. So some good news. Looks like TikTok said, she claims she can appeal it again. I don't think it looks good. It's been a week and a day. She's hyping that other account. I'll show you how she's hyping that other account. And I'm going to get to some juicy stuff. It's coming. The juicy stuff is coming. Hang on, gang. Hang on. Hang in there. Okay. So I went over to her Insta and here's what she posted. This is what she posted on her, I guess it's called her, I don't know, her stories. And then, oh, her book's coming out, guys. Aren't you excited? Ah, her memoir is coming out again. I hope there are some corrections. I will, if it's just like a second edition printing, I'm gonna like, because it's horrible. It's horrible. You know, I mean, the lies and the lies and the lies. It just should be called The Lies of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. All right. Now, I want to make a really quick correction of, remember last time we were going over when she was doing this, when she was not just getting her account banned, but in my last live, I played you guys audio clips of Gypsy and her hooligans, her cult members, uh plotting to report content creators, right? Do we all remember that? And I brought up an account called Capricorn and Coffee. And I got them mistaken with another account. I said, it looks like she got her banned, Capricorn and Coffee. Now I'm gonna show you who Gypsy got banned, and then I'm gonna come back to Capricorn and Coffee because it's kind of an interesting little side note that I want to tell you guys about that account. So the account she got banned was this Gypsy Insta Truth. And Gypsy writes, and this is from leaks from the Discord. Gypsy writes, I already got them. They were discussing this account. It again, you guys can see their followers. I think it says 36 or 16. My eyes aren't too good. This is ridiculous. Her going after these accounts. Why was she going after them? We're gonna get to Capricorn and Coffee, who I think hit the nail on the head. Well, of course, she's going after them. I mean, bottom line, she's going after them because they're posting content she doesn't want posted. They're posting the truth about her. They're posting evidence about her. So she runs around, tries to get everything taken down. And she claims, here she claims, I talked to Meta support and reported for impersonation. I don't think this wasn't an account impersonating her. It was Instagram Truth, Gypsy Rose Instagram Truth. So too bad that account got banned for the wrong reasons. It was not an impersonation account. It was a truth account. Regardless, she got that banned. I got this account mixed up with Capricorn and Coffee. Okay. So Capricorn and Coffee, here's what happened with them. Gypsy reported them for bullying and harassment. And Capricorn and Coffee wrote me an email to explain to me why she thought that happened. Okay. And basically, it's because of this post that she made. She believes, she's pretty sure, and she's checked with other people. This was a post that she made in GRB Snark. This is when everybody was saying, oh, Gypsy's going over to Instagram. Let's all run over to Instagram and start posting the FOIA material. Let's start posting the truth. And so Capricorn and Coffee was kind of at the hub of, inviting people to do that with her. And we know Gypsy, we've seen evidence. We've heard evidence that she is really big. Over a year, her and Ken priority trying to get this Reddit taken down, this subreddit taken down. So thus, we can assume she read this post by Capricorn and Coffee, which alerted Gypsy then to who they were. Probably Gypsy runs over to Instagram and starts the harassment of this account. So thanks to Capricorn and Coffee for clarifying that with me, that they did, but Gypsy was unsuccessful in getting them banned. She also wrote me an email, saying that she had taken some time off, but I think she's still over on Instagram. If you guys want to go check her out, and yeah, thanks for writing to me and clearing that up. And so we've got that squared away now. Gypsy saw the Snark post, the Snark subreddit post, and was like big bothered and had to run over and try to get your account taken down. Okay, now here we go. You guys ready? All right. Some of this is pretty funny to me. Some of this just is really funny, and you'll see why. You'll see why. Okay, first, for the background, I'm going to be showing screenshots now of the leak. I have protected people's identity in there, except for two people for a reason. One is Gypsy, of course, because she's a public figure and she is newsworthy and noteworthy. The other person is Bree. And you guys, if you don't know who she is, for new people, this is Gypsy, who we call her first lieutenant, her BFF, and somebody who took it upon herself to be Gypsy's spokesperson. At one point on TikTok, like 18 months ago, Bree had posted on her TikTok account, I am a Gypsy spokesperson. Everything I say, Gypsy has given me the permission to say. Why am I giving you that background? To say that she thrust herself into the limelight. She thrust herself into the limelight, and then Gypsy gave her the TikTok account. Thus, she became a noteworthy person. Okay. So those two people is what we're going to be going over here in these leaks. And here comes the background of what you guys to know when we go over these screenshots. Okay. First, I got to put my funny Gypsy picture up to protect the audio portion of this. And here we go. This is the background. This is the background you guys need to know for the screenshots we're going to be going over.
Like there's a few things. The same disc that. So I put that video in there because Straight Out of Context has apparently all the Facebook messages. And I think it's like the same disc that Bree has now. And I kind of just wonder, are they going to put everything out there? Because I kind of feel like there's a few things that would have my back on things.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right here to give you some context. Speaking of Straight Out of Context, Straight Out of Context, as most of you know, is a YouTube channel run by Barb. And what is going on here is that Barb, and I think maybe Into the Weeds, the ones, you know, the certain content creators that get the FOIAs, what happened here is that the Facebook messages came out. Okay, when the Facebook, so she's talking about the Facebook messages, and what she has said here is that she herself, she got the disc too. She goes, I have that disc and I gave it to Bree. Okay, that's the background that you guys need to understand. So we're talking about all those Facebook messages that were part of the Freedom of Information Act. Okay, and so I'm just going to back it up just a minute.
That Bree has now. And I kind of just wonder, are they going to put everything out there? Because I kind of feel like there's a few things that would have my back on things. So I wonder if they would be that honest to put out the whole truth. What do you guys think?
Okay, there's a little other portion.
Wait a minute, how did they get access to this? I'm actually curious. How?
Is it do with that be talking? Is that what how this?
I think she talks again here at the end. So just bear with it.
If she Well, I do know this. If she really did get all of the Facebook messages, we're talking thousands upon thousands, like 14,000 messages, photos, and whatnot. She could have content for years based on that.
Yeah, Gypsy, unfortunately, that's true. But she's not going to be honest about it. She's not. You're just too nice. You give too many people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, she's already put, another creator puts some of it out already, other than her. These people are sick.
Okay, I think that's it. So that is the background you guys need to know. Okay, when we go over, no, gotta get rid of it. Gotta get rid of her. When we go over these screenshots now, this is going to be the behind the scenes, and this really is funny to me, and it's ironic, and it's, yeah. Okay, so here we go. So Gypsy claimed, right, that Bree was given these same messages, right? And so someone writes, I hope they don't put it out that way. I hope they don't put it out, meaning anti-Gypsy content creators, the going over these Facebook messages. They add that way, bam, Bree puts it out. Petty, I know. Okay. So what does this mean? What does this mean? This means Bree has it. She has the same information that we did. And according to them, well, Bree's going to go over all of that information and she's going to prove that Gypsy was this victim. That we have been all look at these you guys look at this Facebook message and look at this Facebook message and look at this Facebook message. These Facebook messages prove Gypsy was a victim of Nick. This proves Gypsy was abused by her mom. Look at that Facebook message. Guys, can I ask you a question? Did they do that? Did that happen? Did anyone on her side put out any information of those Facebook messages to prove, to show that Gypsy is not who we know she is, a mommy murderer? No. Where is it? I'm waiting. Are you guys waiting? Because I'm waiting. Because here, this person writes, I hope they don't put it out. That way, bam, Bree put it out. And, so, laughing emoji. We'll get them that way. Bree with the facts. Bree with the facts is going to bring the facts. She's got those. Gypsy's like, yeah, I gave them to Bree. I gave all those messages to Bree. All right. You guys understand what's going on here now, right? All right, good. The next comment says, apparently I'm blocked on that post, some posts, but I highly doubt they will actually put out the whole truth. Sadly, they get views by putting out negativity. I'm sorry they are doing this to you, but please remember, we are all standing by you. Keep on shining bright, Gypsy. Next person writes, what's going on? Are you saying someone got a hold of Bree's idea? Get this, Bree's idea and is going to put it out? Okay, so what does that mean, Bree's idea? Obviously, it means that Bree, supposedly they had this, Bree and Gypsy, they were getting together to go ahead and refute all of the FOIAs. They were going to pour through the FOIAs themselves, and then they were going to refute it all. And I'm still waiting. Because I'll tell you guys something. I don't pick and choose what I put out. There is a ton of information. But if I had come across something that exonerated Gypsy, I could not just pass it over. I couldn't do it. For many reasons, not just because, I'm like the truth teller, but because other people have the FOIAs. They have the FOIAs. So if I'm going to, you see what I mean? It's not just me going over it. Many people, many creators went over all these FOIAs. Yet, where is this proof that Gypsy kept promising us? Where is this proof? Well, wait till those Facebook messages come out. You're going to see Nick in a totally different light. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for you to go live and prove it. Go live or go make a video about it. Show us your defense. You guys, this didn't happen. Yet in this Discord, they're all pumped up. They're all gassed up about it. Yeah. Wait, Bree's on it. Bree's going to do it. Bree's on it. Okay. The next comment says, no, they're not going to put out the whole truth. That's just bullshit. Okay. That is BS. You have no other choice than to put out the whole truth because other people are also researching it. It's not like your secret. Like if you found something in a FOIA, you're like, well, I'm going to keep that secret. Well, it's not secret. It's public. It's on a Public Freedom of Information Act. This is a ludicrous thinking that you could just not, bypass information to make Gypsy look bad, right? That's my point. Here, this person adds, no, they're not going to put out the whole truth, Gypsy. And Aubrey's going through a lot, but she needs to get their information out before they do, because the honest truth, they'll chop it up, twist it, and not tell the truth. Okay. Now, I feel like they're so determined to harm your image that this is a continuation. I feel like they're so determined to harm your image that they may not. But once it's all out, listen to this. Once it's all out, it's all out. Well, it's all out. It's all out, girlfriend. See how these people that are following her, the cult, they actually were brainwashed into believing that there was something in the FOIAs that was going to make Gypsy look good. They actually believed it. Listen, but once it's all out, it's all out. There will be nothing else they can do to harm you. Get it? They were lied to by her. They were brainwashed by her. This is why they followed her. I don't know why they're still following her, because everything's out now. So why y'all still backing her? Now, some people have left, I believe, the cult, but this is what this person is saying. They add, I still stand on business and will always be a supporter. And I know this group feels the same way as me. Nothing they can show will change my mind. Are you crazy? Get this. Nothing they can show will change my mind. If there was a video of Gypsy shooting someone in the head, that wouldn't change your mind? Stupid comments. Stay strong. They go on. Ugh, I don't see how it is legal. This is so comical too. Ugh, I don't see how it is legal to get all of your personal information, text, videos. I am angry for you. I know my chat is super smart. Is this personal information? Is the FOIA's personal information? No, of course not. It's freedom. It's part of a murder case. It's Freedom of Information Act. Yet this is what this person is writing. This is the caliber of intelligence we have going on over there. Another comment. I don't feel as if they will do anything to be fair. I think that's why I think Bree doing it, right? What is Bree supposed to be doing? She's supposed to be putting out all the Gypsy exoneration evidence. It's going to blow our minds. It's going to blow our minds when Bree gets done with it. Like Bree said, without the whole story, things definitely are taken out of context. Oh, we have the whole story and we're still waiting for whatever they want to show us. Please bring it. They don't want to be wrong. Well, we're not wrong. We've proven that. So they won't show anything that makes them look like they're wrong. No, you're wrong. Like I said, a lot of people have this information and obviously you say Bree has it. So we're waiting. Again, we're waiting. Okay. Also, I know Bree's going through a lot, as others have probably told her. I am, then something cuts off. Like Bree said, without the whole story. Okay. Then it just repeats that there. Okay. Almost done with the Facebook stuff. Oh, but once it's all out, it's out. There will be nothing else they can do. And yeah. So that is everything about when the Facebook posts come out and how they all got gassed up and Gypsy's there making that audio. Well, I wonder if, there's some things in there that, when it comes out, it's going to make me look good. I'm just paraphrasing what she said in that audio, and so Bree has that. Gypsy says in the audio, Bree has that. So has that disc. And they're all excited in there. Yeah, I can't wait for Bree to prove everyone wrong and show everyone that Gypsy is this saint. She's a saint. And here's the proof. Yeah, that didn't happen. Okay. And nobody is ignoring stuff in the FOIAs. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not noteworthy. You can't, if you read every text, which I have, not all of it is interesting to put out or noteworthy, right? But there was nothing that I was, you know what? I was waiting for it. I was like, I'll say this. The thing that surprised me the most, if we're going to say, if I'm going to be fair and play devil's advocate about Nick, because that's what they were focusing on. They were said that they were going to show, I forgot to put your comments back on. Sorry. They were going to show how Nick was this monster and blah, 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 blah. Right. Yeah. Nick was okay. Nick, was into Googling like BDSM websites. Yeah. He was into that. I saw that. I'm trying to think of the worst things that I saw that he did. Just a lot of stuff about his autism, it's mostly based on his autism, the way he would speak sometimes to people. He can be short. He could, he's a person, he's not nice all the time. But did I see like something that stopped me in my tracks and went, oh Christ, this is bad. Oh, now I see why she did what she did. Oh, now I understand why people said she was manipulated by him. I was looking for it. I was ready for it. I didn't find it. And I read all of it. I didn't find it. Okay. Is he into some weird stuff? Yeah, he's into some weird stuff. He is. But yeah. What else can I say? We're still waiting. We are still waiting, Gypsy. But of course, that never happened, did it? Okay. Now, a few other things here about the behind the scenes content. I think is there one other audio TikTok account down? All right. Yeah, okay. Let me play this. Let me play this next for background.
So this is what's going on. I went to attach my phone number to the 9 mil account. Then it led me to discover that the account was hacked the entire time.
Now, this would be the second hacking. Remember, the first hacking happened supposedly, allegedly, when she went to go have the baby, allegedly, right? That was the end of December 2024. And that's the only time she focuses on when she's talking to her minions or the Gyp babes about the bad things that happened to her account. She references this first hacker. But now she's talking about, and how do I know this is a different hacking that she's alleging? You'll know when you hear the whole message.
Okay, y'all, so this is what's going on. I went to attach my phone number to the 9 mil account. Then it led me to discover that the account was hacked the entire time in, like, I guess in the last month. So the first login was from Turkey on December 23rd, and it went undetected because me and Bree didn't get kicked out immediately.
Me and Bree. Okay. Why Bree? Well, because you all know she gave the account to Bree. That's the end of 2025, not the end of 2024. So she fails to talk about this, or she forgets about it. It's not like this isn't important, but I'm going to show you, like, she lies a lot. Okay. She lies a lot about different things. I'm going to show you some screenshots after this about this kind of stuff.
And so it was like a login from an iPhone 16, which I have a 16. So I reported it, and I was in the account talking to tech support, letting them know. And so what happened was they locked the account. It's locked right now. So it kicked me, Bree, and the hackers out. So I wrote a support ticket. So I'm going to try and get it recovered, but at least the hackers don't have access. So that's the good thing.
Okay. Kind of boring, kind of insignificant. I agree with that. But I want to make 2 points here about this. Okay. when Gypsy goes into this Discord with all her people, and I have a lot of stuff I had to go over, right? She never asks about how anyone's doing. She doesn't talk small talk with them. Every time she goes in there, it's about her and her social media accounts. Period. Period. She has them fawning all over her. Half the time, she doesn't respond. No, 90% of the time, she doesn't respond to them. Oh, Gypsy, you look so good today. Oh, Gypsy, da, 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 da. She's terrible. She's horrible to them. She just go. I can't believe they don't see it. I mean, I'm reading this stuff. I'm listening to this stuff, and you see a pattern. You know, a lot of the stuff, like I said, isn't noteworthy. It's just back and forth about petty things, right? And it's not really her too much involved, and it wouldn't be appropriate for me to show. But what I can tell you is this: the only time she goes in there, the only time she's talking to them, it's about her and what she needs from them. Now, of course, the argument can be made, well, you didn't see you don't know everything. She calls me all the time, or I doubt it. I doubt it. Okay. I do think I know her pretty well by now. And I don't think she's the kind of friend. I know she's not. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about these people. And she lies to them and lies to them. Just like I showed you that it's a minor thing, but you would think about the Facebook, right? That Bree's going to do it. Bree's going to show it. Finally, we're going to get justice for Gypsy. And it never happens. But nobody says anything. Or I don't see anyone saying anything. Maybe in some other way they do. Like, what the hell? Where's the evidence about what Gypsy claimed? That Gypsy said this was going to exonerate her. This was going to make her seem in a better light. And it never happens. Yet they're still out there publicly fighting for her, right? I mean, it's like, why do they do it? After all this, why do they do it? I don't know. I don't know. It's just sad. But there again, there was another example. She had to dip into the Discord to say, okay, here's what's going on with me. Like, you know what I wanted to say? I don't give a fuck. If I was in there, I don't care your account got hacked again. Who cares? You know, she's like reporting it like, everyone, let me tell you what's happening with my account. And it's like the self-centeredness. It's just ripped off the chart. It's off the chart. All right. We're going to get to a few other things. Oh, we're going to get to some really crazy things too that I had never seen before, but I'm going to show you guys. We're almost done with this part of it. Okay. This stuff is about striking channels. As you guys know, in my last live, they talked about Winebox Poppy. A few of you have emailed me him. I did reach out to him. I will send him whatever I have to help him. I mean, here they deny it, but obviously, you know, you got to think they did mass report him, you know. F Winebox Poppy or whatever his name is. Yeah, they said we all mass reported Winebox Poppy. I was like, no. Even Starlight said Winebox needed to watch his words. Starlight is convinced Into the Weeds can win the appeal. Maybe we can look as well. Here, now they're talking about striking other channels. Maybe we can look as well. It's a lot of people to look at. They're talking about content creators. This is the back chat of what was going on about striking content creators. This is the text portion of it. Does Haiti post videos without commentary? I've never watched one of her videos, to be honest. Hey, everyone, let's clarify the videos from the FOIA are not technically Gypsy's content. We are talking about current thing Gypsy posts like on IG, TikTok, and YouTube. Like if Keish went to Gypsy's IG and played a whole video without saying anything. That's the example they're giving. They're giving like if Keish did this, then we could strike her. So this is when Gypsy has talked about them getting together to strike channels, and this is them talking about it. Okay. This person says, hey, get a P.O. box. It's super cheap from a mail store. That way no one has any legit addresses, right? Because as you know, you have to are required to put your legal address when you copyright strike someone. And so, of course, these idiots are constantly trying to get around breaking the rules because they're not doing this for the right reasons. They're just doing it to silence people, right? So any way they can do it, hey, let's get a P.O. box, then they won't have a legitimate address, right? Because now they're all joining in helping, like she requested they do. Okay. After that P.O. box, a comment was made. Oh my God, that is funny that Ken has his old address. This person is listening to the audio of Gypsy talking about how her and Ken had used a wrong address, his old Dallas address, to do the copyright strikes. And this person thinks it's hilarious. So hilarious, right? Not only are they taking people's freedom of speech away, but they're doing it in an illegal manner. And it's funny. Oh my God, it's funny, Gypsy, that Ken had his old address that he put on the copyright strike, right? And then this person adds, if you give that to us, we will help. I'm willing, Gypsy. I'm willing. I just retired. LOL. Can you imagine being in a group chat with someone and this is what's going on? It blows my mind. I mean, I would be like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Right? I mean, there's right and there's wrong, right? And the delight they take. So Gypsy, the type of narcissist, antisocial personality order person she is, malignant narcissist, they attract a certain kind of person that wants to be around that kind of person. It's just my humble opinion. Okay. Based on what I know, who are these people? What is their personality makeup? Basically, they want to be noticed and they want to feel important. Through Gypsy, because she is a mommy murderer and she's infamous, she has a bit of what's called celebrity. Not that she's a celebrity, but celebrity means a celebrated person, somebody who is in the public eye. And so for these people, their self-esteem is so low. Their morals are questionable. But I think it comes more down to their self-esteem is so low that they latch onto her to make them feel important. Like she, as their friend, now they're important, like she is. Not that she's important, but you get what I'm saying, right? That she's in People magazine, that she's in TMZ, right? That she has a docuseries. And these people, their self-esteem is so low, they're willing to do wrong things to make themselves feel better, to make themselves feel important. It's really sad. It really is. And I think there's been people that have left the little cult, but there's a lot that are still there. And you see even the people that aren't like close in the cult on TikTok that don't know the whole story, that are, feeding her ego. But I think once most people know the truth, the healthy reaction to her is, oh my God, what is she on social media for? Get her off social media. That's the reaction. That's the appropriate reaction, right? Okay. Now, let's just get to one more thing, and this is just about Bree, okay? But I think it's important. I think it's noteworthy as it reflects on Gypsy and as it backs up what they were doing. Bree writes, "Hi, y'all. So I didn't want to resort to mass reporting, but at this point, I feel like I have no choice. Please don't feel obligated to do this, but if any of you have time, can you please go report any of these videos? Most can probably go on our harassment and bullying." So she's saying report them for harassment and bullying, possibly giving a personal information as well. I know it's a lot of them, so don't feel obligated to do all of them or any of them. Even if you could just do one, that would be great. Only if you have time. Thank you so much. Love and appreciate you all so much, Bree. And there you see several links. You see one of Audrey, and several of Audrey. And there was other links past this. I'm not going to have to post all these links, but she posted all of these that she wanted mass reported. Okay. Now I will be totally, upfront here. This had to do with a situation she had. I think that most people know about. I don't want to get into that, but the issue here is that she felt comfortable enough to go to them to say, report all these channels for bullying and harassment. When I would say she did a bit of bullying and harassment herself. She felt that she could go to them and tell them to do it and that they would do it because that's how they roll over there. Bad things happen. I would never ask somebody to go report something like that. I would, it's just part of it. She put herself in the limelight. It's what happens. It's the downside of putting yourself in the limelight. You're going to get haters. You're going to get trolls. You're going to get people saying wrong things about you. You're going to have people lying about you. You're going to have people attacking you. You're going to have people bullying you. Yeah, you're going to have people harassing you. It's part of it. Okay, it's part of it. And either you just accept that it's part of it and move on with your life and move on with your content, or you don't. But this notion that you're going to run around the internet and get everyone to mass report people. And I agree, if it's legitimate doxing, that's wrong. That should be reported. If it's legitimate doxing, I do draw the line with that. But just talking crap, just talking ha ha ha, this happened to you. Ha ha ha, you're ugly. Ha ha ha, you're stupid. Ha ha ha, you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. What are you going to do? People have a right to speak. They have a right to speak, right? I may not like it when it's about me or about people I care about, but what am I going to do? Run around the internet and, oh my God. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. All right. All right, guys, where are we at? We are going to get to some really great stuff on the other side of this. I think I'm done with all that. Am I done with? Yeah. Yeah, I am done. I am done with all of that. We're going to get to this stuff that I'm going to be going over in a minute. It's interesting. It's exciting to me because I think a lot of people won't know about it. Maybe some of you that are OG and are like, super into the case, you might know a little bit about some of this stuff, but I bet I'm going to surprise you. There's going to be stuff you didn't know. Okay. So I am excited, and I did wait for this stuff for the second half of the show. But before we get to all of that exciting stuff, I want to get back to some of your guys' comments. Let's go ahead and say what you guys are talking about. Okay. Oh, okay. Did I do this one? Yeah, that was the last one. Thanks, Citizen Jenks, for the $5. Our defense is starting to work. Choo choo. That is right. Citizen Jinx. Thank you so much. Okay. The Beach ZW, $2 Canadian dollars. I heard Natalie Reynolds has been banned too. Really? Okay. I didn't hear that. I'd love to know about that. Wow. Thank you for that. Next up, Jessica Neely, 5627, became a member to the Truth Train. Welcome aboard, Jessica. I'm so glad you're here. Next up, we got Jill B, 3072, 699. Hi, Becca and the Truth Train. Hey, Jill B, so glad to see you. You are an OG. Thank you for being in chat. Thank you for the donation. Next up, oh, Ice Truck, $1.99. Love you, Becca. Ice Truck, I saw your message when I was getting ready for the live. You said, I finally made a live. And I was like, yay, Ice Truck is in the house. So glad you're here. Next up, Kathleen H, $9.99. Always here, just can't keep up with chat and show. Thanks, Becca. Kathleen, so happy. Thank you for the message. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for being here. You two have been a great supporter to this channel. Next up, Connie Blue Sky 72, $1.99. Looking good, Becca. Keep on bringing us the scoop. Connie, thank you. Thank you so much. And I will. I am excited to keep bringing you guys the scoop. Next up, Lydia 202, $19.99. Thanks, Lydia. That's very generous. I appreciate that. Hi, Becca. So happy to have made your live. You look so gorgeous this evening. Well, thank you, Lydia. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. And thank you for your generous donation. Next up, allegedly Punkers 13 became a member on the Truth Train. Everyone, welcome allegedly Punkers in the Truth Train. Jessa M, 8338, member for 1 month. I'm so glad you're here, Jessa. Thank you for continuing to air the truth, Becca. Well, Jessa, thank you for saying that. And I also want to give credit to all the other great content creators. I'm sure some of them are in the chat. We all are doing the best we can. And Jessa, I really appreciate you being a member to my channel. That means a lot to me. Next up, we've got Pippin's Mama, who also became a YouTube member. Welcome aboard, Pippin's Mama. So glad you could be here. And we got Lois Gilpin Bay, also became a member. Everyone, welcome Lois aboard the Truth Train. So happy you're here, Lois. Thank you for being here. And we got one of our favorites, Gamma Goulet, who's coming in with 1 Becca Scoops membership. Thank you, Gamma. Thank you so much. So happy to see you. And we got Manic Mondays, 24 pound 99 pence. Yes, finally catching a live from Great Britain, from the UK. Well, you know what? I know it's really late over there, so I got to say thank you for staying up to watch the live. That's very kind of you. And no worries if you fall asleep. You can always catch the replay. I know it's really late over there right now. Next up, we'll do a few more. Sylvia, one of our favorites, Sylvia, is here with $11.99. Thanks for clarifying. Although it's clear to me that if you want a comprehensive investigation, you try to talk to everybody involved. Well, yeah, that's kind of what an investigation is, right, Sylvia? Great point. I trust your ability to discern what's BS and what's not. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I'm not in charge of, like, I would not be in charge of writing. Okay, let me just say this. Why the production companies want what we have is because of just exactly what you've seen me report on. They want what I've reported on and other content creators. It's not just me. But you know, like Mitch and I, our first like 25 or so deep dives that we did when our channel was new, that stuff, some of that stuff needs to be updated because new evidence has come out. So what is getting the production companies so excited is like they're blown away in the same way you guys were blown away. Like, what? She actually had a medical disorder? What? She put herself in the wheelchair? What? You know, everything that makes you here. That's what it's going to be about. That's what the evidence is going to show. And then, of course, excuse me, like any true crime documentary, you're going to have other people, you're going to have people interviewed. She's going to probably be interviewed. Why the hell not? She's going to have a chance to respond. That's dramatic TV. She has to have a chance to respond, right? So we're not out to make a propaganda piece like she did. And that's actually what the second half of this show is going to be about. The propaganda piece that Mommy Dead and Dearest became. That wasn't a true crime documentary. That was like a political propaganda piece. There was no truth in it. It was just her side of the story based not on any real evidence and then omitting a whole bunch of crap, right? Like her medical issues. So, yeah, it's kind of like when you do something like this, the people involved are the people involved. Do you love all the people involved? Well, no, of course not. There are people involved, but they are the people involved. So they will be interviewed, but they're not writing the script. No. All right, Sylvia, thanks for that. Next up, Ice Truck. Love you, Becky. I love you too. Thank you so much for the $1.99. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to admit it. Growing up, I was never called Becca. I was never called Becca. Yeah, I grew up, I was called Becky. I mean, I was born in 1964, for Christ's sake, right? And yeah. So, but when I made the channel, I just thought, oh, Becca's cool. I mean, sometimes people would call me Becca, but really my friends, my high school friends, I was known as Becky. Yeah. So that's very appropriate. You say that, Ice Truck. Okay. Next up, we got Sylvia coming back. Oh yeah, you said that. Okay. Yeah. Sorry to do that again. Now, dazed and confused. Dazed and confused. I have an apology to make to you. Someone brought it to my attention, but actually emailed me. I felt so stupid. Becca, I just got to tell you something. Dazed and confused. And I'm like, yeah, dazed, no confused, right? No, Becca, no, it's not supposed to be no. It's the two little O's are there. So you say dazed and confused. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, dazed and confused. I've been calling you dazed, no confused for weeks. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I hope I'm doing it right now. But email me if I'm not doing it right now. All right. Dazed and confused. $10. Thank you so much, Dazed. Gypsy, if you're watching, how's that karma doing? Not good. Now go take care of your child and get a job with all the free time you'll have now that your channel is gone. Love you, Becca. Hi, chat. Dazed and confused. I love you back. You are totally an OG to this channel. Thank you for being here. All right. Next up, we got Chill Tarts coming in at $9.99. All I want is to see Gypsy held accountable, for Dee Dee to be exonerated, Nick to have a fair trial with all the facts. I'm not against Gypsy because she is just another murderer. What I am for is the truth. Chill Tarts, I think you summed it up in about 2 sentences there, what I believe and what everyone in this chat believes. So great way, spot on, summing it up. And thank you, Chill Tarts, for being here and for the donation. Chill Talk is back with $4.99. The talk doesn't use violations over 90 days when they consider permanent bans. It's their okay. So Chill Tarts is saying it's terms of service. So something was violated in their terms of service, I think is what you're trying to say, to get permanently banned from TikTok. That sounds about right. That sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Next up, gotta love him. Mighty Mulatto coming in with $10. As long as Gypsy's lies regarding Dee Dee are laid bare and that these lies are irrefutable, shown to be lies, as long as her bogus media defense is utterly dismantled, it's all that matters. Exactly. And now you've summed up in 2 sentences what we're all about, right? What this is all about, what Lori and I are doing. This is what everything's all about and what my channel's all about. I mean, yeah. I mean, do you want to talk to the players in that were involved around the crime? Well, yeah. I mean, does that mean all of them are good, credible people? I don't know them all personally. I don't know any of them personally, right? So you got to take people at face value, but you talk to them, you interview them. It's how our system works. It's how the media works, right? You interview people, whether they're murderers or questionable people or not. You interview them, right? And through the interview, sometimes you can get to the truth. Or through an interview, you might be side eyeing somebody, right? Watching a documentary going, that guy, I don't trust that guy, right? So people are exposed through interviews. That's why you do interviews. Does that make sense? So thanks for that, Mighty Mulatto. Thanks for that. Next up, we got Manic Mondays 24, who also became a member. Thank you so much, Manic Mondays. We'll just get to a few more guys, and then we'll get on with this other stuff I want to show you. TA Swifty fan 13, $2. Not Jip Babe, the Jip Stains. Oh my God. Yes. 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 Yes, TA Swifty. Yes. Laura Lee with a 279 super sticker. Laura Lee, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. And we got Lois coming back with a $2 super sticker. Thank you, Lois. It's very kind. Let's do one more. Citizen Jenks with $10. Every 1,000-page misspelled contradictive BS diatribe should fall under the philosophy of Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the truth. Isn't that it? Yes, the lady doth protest too much. Ryan, Citizen Jenks, love it. Love this comment. Occam's razor, exactly. Right? Occam's right. The simplest path, the simplest thing, the simplest answer is usually the truth. Not all this complicated stuff. It's usually, why does the lady protest too much? Yeah. When we're talking about Gypsy, as I was talking about earlier. All right, we're going to end it there with Citizen Jenks, and we will get back then to the comments in a little bit. But let's go ahead and get to the second half of our live stream. We're going to switch up gears here a little bit. So you guys, if you guys need to take a quick break, go do the quick break. So we're going to get going here on the second half of the show. All right. Where do I want to start? Let's see. How do I want to start this out? Well, we're going to be talking about how did Gypsy, sitting in prison, a convicted mommy murderer. It doesn't get really any lower than that on the spectrum, right, of people in jail. We know a lot of people that are into true crime know pedophiles are a little bit lower than murderers. Rapists, pedophiles are on the bottom rung of the prison kind of hierarchy system. But right, just a little bit above that are murderers. But what kind of murderer are you? And when you're like a child murderer or a mommy murderer, you're just right there almost with the chomos, the child, molesters, and the rapist. I mean, it's a close. If you're up wrong, it's just a little bit, right? I mean, it's a mommy murderer. So how does okay, yeah, the crime was infamous. Yeah, it made a lot of news, right? But she's a convicted mommy murderer. And she's sitting in prison. And so somebody decides Erin Lee Carr decides she wants to go make a documentary about her, right? Okay. So that was her first taste of the limelight. Like, oh, she got this taste of the limelight, right? But after Mommy Dead and Dearest, which was just a crappy propaganda piece, sadly, I'm sure Erin Lee Carr is a good person. I don't know what happened with that, but Gypsy got the taste then for celebrity. And as I've always said about Gypsy, before she ever murdered her mother, she wanted to be a celebrity, right? She told that to Nick. I don't have that quote, but I've showed it many times. Her first email to Nick was, I'm kind of a celebrity around here in Springfield. I'm kind of, one of those people. I do public speaking, right? She loved it. And so that sitting in prison, Mommy Dead and Dearest, right, comes out and the wheels start turning. But here's the catch. After Mommy Dead and Dearest, if nobody would have, if no other companies, if nobody else really came a calling, right? If you look at the prison emails, at some point, a few do. But there was one individual who's a lot like Gypsy, it seems. Now, I'm not going to put her on the level as a mommy murderer, but I mean somebody that's dying to be relevant, dying to be in the spotlight, dying to make it, right? And you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Melissa Moore. If you don't know and you're new, Melissa Moore, you're going to learn a little bit about her because I found some new info about what happened behind the scenes, what happened with the money, what happened with the trust fund, stuff like that. It's very interesting. But we're going to have to build on it, right? Because we need to like look at who Melissa Moore is. And I found this. Now, before Melissa Moore, okay, first off, who is she? She is the daughter of the Happy Face Killer. The Happy Face Killer is an infamous murder and rapist who's locked up for life. I don't even know. Does he have the death penalty? I don't know. He should. He murdered and raped many women. He was a truck driver and he would find these women. And he was like he's like 6'8", this big guy, and he's never shown any remorse. And so his eldest daughter is a woman named Melissa Moore. And Melissa grew up and she liked, well, like any girl, she liked makeup. She was trying to get into makeup and kind of getting into fashion. But then she got an idea. She got an idea that, you know what? I wonder if I can cash in on my dad being the Happy Face Killer to get in the limelight. I wonder if I can turn that somehow into a career. I wonder if I can use that to make money. And so she went on this vision quest to do that. And one of the first things she did, I'm going to show you. She took advantage. This is really gross. She took advantage of the victims of her father's. So she took advantage of the victims of the people her father murdered. So like her father murdered this one woman, it would be the sister in this one thing I'm going to show you. Melissa decided that she would do this show where her and her mother go and meet with the sister of one of her father's victims. And it's really telling what happens. We're going to take a look at this and what this woman says to Melissa. It was wow. And this was before she ever got involved with Gypsy. So it's going to tell you, it's going to set you up with what else I'm going to show in a minute. So let me go. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Make sure the sound is, I hope the sound is up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let's put this on the big screen. Okay.
Mother and I are meeting one victim's sister to reach out and express our sorrow for what my father.
That's her and her mother. Okay, just for background. Did you see her side eye her there? She's gonna, this woman is brave. Yeah, I'm watching your comments. It's invasive. What can I say? What can I say? But this woman is gonna call her on her shit. Okay, wait for it. Shut up. You know what? You know what? It's just, right? It's just shut up. It's this, right? It's like, right? I mean, what are you doing? See who this person is? This is Melissa Moore. Okay? This is who she is. She said, you wrote a book and made it about yourself. Who does that sound like?
Families like me that.
Well, yeah, I understand
I'm gonna
that.
back
I
it up a
understand
minute.
that because
I want to say the tears here are performative. I'm not saying she's not crying for the woman. She's crying for herself. She's been called out. She's embarrassed. That's what the tears are for. Look at her. And she's pulling a Gypsy Rose with the tongue right there. I just paused it in the right place, didn't I? I just paused it in the right place, right? These aren't tears for the woman or for her sister. They are tears for her, herself. Poor me, right? Because the woman says, you wrote a book about you, not about my sister or about the other victims. It says, well, there's other families like me. Who gives a crap? Now this woman's going to be a little kind to her because she's probably a halfway decent person, right? Obviously. But really, Melissa doesn't deserve it. I'm surprised the woman just didn't throw her out, but obviously this was all planned ahead of schedule. I don't know. Hopefully this woman got some kind of monetary fee for doing this. She damn deserves it to go through this bullshit. But yeah. Now she's, no one in your family is dead, lady. And I'm not, look, okay, but no one in your family was murdered. Your husband was a murderer and a rapist. No, I don't blame you for that. Obviously, I don't blame you like that you were in cahoots with him doing it. But how dare you put yourself on the level of this woman? How dare you put yourself on the level of this woman? What kind of mindset is this? All right. So that's Melissa Moore. Now you know the background of how she was just wanting to get in that limelight. This show, and then the show had a few other episodes where it was really cringy. I watched them where she goes and it's not about her dad. She's like the host where she, it's other cases, other murder cases. And she brings like the same thing, like the families together, the families of the perpetrator with the families of the victims. I think it's really inappropriate. Not that, look, of course, I have a personal experience in this, and I'll tell you what my personal experience was in this. When my first husband was murdered, right? Father of my children. Yes, my ex-husband. Yes. Ex-husband for 4 months when he was murdered. The mother of the man that murdered him, when we were at trial, when we were going through the murder trial was going on, the day that he was found guilty and he was sentenced to death, I was walking out of the courtroom. Of course, there wasn't, of course, everyone's crying. The mother of the man that did it had the courage to come up to me and my mother-in-law, the mother, my first husband's mother, and stopped us and said, I'm sorry. She profusely apologized. She was crying. And she did not put herself on our level. It was like she was apologizing for what her son did. That's an appropriate response. And I think that took a lot of courage for that woman to come up to us. It took a lot of courage, right? So when I see stuff like this, because I know what this other woman kind of felt like, I would not have, I probably would have thrown her the F out of my house. Get out of here. Get out of here with your book and your stupid TV show. And yeah, it's just mind boggling. So I have a big dislike for Melissa Moore for this reason. And then how she was the one to catapult Gypsy into this. So I'm going to show you guys now some things that I also found out what went on about Gypsy's money, about trust funds, about lies. Like I said, this is called leaks and lies. So we're going to get into some lies, some mistruths that were told to the public about what went on with Melissa and the docuseries and the monies and just the monies Gypsy got in general. First off, though, before I do that, I have to stop that. I'm doing something in the background here. Just give me a minute. Okay, and I want to share screen. Okay, and I'm not want to play that yet. We're gonna play a little bit of that. That is so. Mitch and I came out with a in-depth deep dive on Melissa Moore. That little clip that I just showed you, I hadn't found that yet, so I wanted to show that first. And let's go ahead and take a listen to a little bit of this, and then I'll pause it, and I'm going to show you some prison emails and some things that were going on. But yeah, this is about Melissa Moore.
Basically, they're asking me the wrong question.
Wait, I want to back up a little bit here.
Presentation of this grand con, which is presenting her as a victim of cancer and multiple other ailments. Gypsy endured having her salivary glands removed.
I'll back it up from that too, because of what she says here. Let me back it up. All right.
Course of her life, she was groomed to be a victim of her mother in the presentation of this grand con, which is presenting her as a victim of cancer and multiple other ailments. Gypsy endured having her salivary glands removed. She had a feeding tube. She wasn't allowed to have food. Her mother got her addicted to opiates, and then also restrained her from seeking freedom. And she actually had convinced family and friends and outsiders that Gypsy could not walk. So basically, her mother imprisoned her, and Gypsy said it best, it was a kill or be killed situation of the imprisonment she faced. I remember, Gypsy, we had discussed that CPS came to your house at one point. Remind me about that. Yeah, tell us about that.
So they did come to my house, and basically they were asking me the wrong questions. So they're like, show me your arms, show me your legs. And they were checking for bruises. And at that point, my mom never hit me. They wasn't asking the right questions to me.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is known as the infamous woman who successfully plotted the demise of her own mother. Blanchard committed the heinous act of matricide and spent 8.5 years of a 10-year sentence at the Chillicothe Women's Prison in Missouri. You'd think that would be the end of Gypsy Rose in the limelight. You'd think after having her crime story made into numerous documentaries and a popular Hulu TV series, that Gypsy would go quietly away, that she would be desperate to fade into the woodwork and live a drama-free life. But that's not what happened. The convicted felon decided to go full throttle into the limelight, trying to sell herself as this transformed criminal who morphed into a victim and survivor, a role model for young women, an advocate working tirelessly for prison reform and for abused kids everywhere. Well, that was the plan anyway. A plan that was born many, many years before Gypsy ever knew her parole date. Somewhere along the line, someone sold Gypsy on this idea that she wasn't a criminal at all, and she definitely didn't deserve any prison time. Welcome to Becca Scoops. My partner is a veteran detective, and I'm Becca, a former psych and ICU RN. And we have investigated the mystery woman who is behind Gypsy's disturbing plans. The woman who single-handedly molded Gypsy Rose for several years, Melissa Moore. In one article, Moore says it's her fault Gypsy Rose Blanchard had become a viral sensation after she got released from prison. You'll come to see how Melissa was instrumental in pushing Gypsy's alleged lies about the crime, including about the victim Dee Dee Blanchard and Gypsy's co-defendant Nicholas Godejohn. In fact, the untruths about Dee Dee Blanchard and Nick Godejohn in Gypsy's book that Melissa co-authored left us speechless. Melissa is also a huge believer that Gypsy's prison sentence was utterly unjust, and Moore's behind-the-scenes antics shocked us. It's downright disturbing and appears to come from a place of pure greed. She's seeking fame and celebrity for herself. But before we get ahead of ourselves, who is Melissa Moore? Well, Melissa G. Moore popped on the Hollywood scene over 10 years ago as the daughter of the notorious Happy Face serial killer. Here's a report from 2013.
Front tonight, Melissa Moore. Her father, Keith Jesperson, is the serial killer known as the Happy Face Killer. He killed at least 8 women, signed his anonymous confession letters with a smiley face. He's currently serving life sentences in prison. Of course, you saw him there with her when she was just a little girl. Melissa, thank you so much for coming out front and talking to us tonight. You just heard Angie, Ariel Castro's daughter, say, we don't.
Okay, so here you can see she's a lot younger here, right? So right after he gets life or whatever, she's wanting to do interviews. She's putting herself out there. She wants to be this. She became this producer. She became the producer of Gypsy series. How? She has no background. Her only background is being the daughter of this guy. Like, she didn't go to school, film school. You know what I mean? She wasn't a journalist. Now she styles herself an investigative journalist and producer. It's wild. This is the only noteworthy thing. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. After Dr. Phil felt sorry for Moore, she landed a modest gig as a correspondent on the Dr. Oz show. But that wasn't enough. She began looking for something to really catapult her Hollywood career to the next level. That's when Moore claims after watching HBO's documentary about Gypsy, Mommy Dead and Dearest, she reached out to Blanchard in prison, hoping to talk Blanchard into some type of project. Gypsy turned her down at first.
It's about 7 years ago after Aaron Lee Carr's incredible documentary on HBO, Mommy Dead and Dearest. And I remember watching that and being completely fascinated by Gypsy's case. And that was Aaron did a great job of showing the beginning of Gypsy's story. And so I went to Chillicothe, the prison, to meet with Gypsy, and I asked her if I could do an interview for, at the time I was working for a daytime talk show, and she declined the interview. But we had a fabulous conversation.
However, things soon changed. Gypsy's ebook titled Released: Conversations on the Edge of Freedom was co-authored by Melissa Moore. In it, Moore claims for over 5 years, she spoke to Gypsy weekly for 30 to 45 minutes. The book is a compilation of their prison phone conversation and is an eye-opener. Moore's relationship with Gypsy became so toxic. In fact, Moore's professionalism went straight out the door. What is deeply disturbing is the role Moore played and continues to play in shaping Gypsy's false narrative and her disturbing plans to become an influencer and mommy vlogger. Remember, Moore had started out in this as a journalist investigating Gypsy. In fact, she admitted she got Gypsy's medical records and claims to know more about Gypsy's health issues than Blanchard herself.
One of the things while doing this documentary was actually getting access to her medical records. So I've probably seen more of the medical records than even Gypsy has on her case, which
Question. If she's seen more of the medical records than Gypsy herself, how does she not know what we know? I thought she's an investigative journalist because either she didn't investigate the medical records, which she has no medical background to look at them anyways, or she found out Gypsy was ill and was like, well, we're not going to look at that. Right? I mean, it's either one or the other. It's either one or the other. Right? Okay. I'm going to pause it there because I want to show you some of this stuff that I found now. And we'll go back to this in a minute because there are some great parts in this. I'm sure most of you have watched it all. I hadn't watched it in a long time and I had forgotten a lot of stuff, that in it. And then we do have a lot of new people too. So, okay, let me get to, so now you got your background on Melissa Moore. And so the timeline would go, Mommy Dead and Dearest comes out. The Act comes out, and then Melissa Moore starts pursuing Gypsy in prison. And then they talk for almost 5 years before she gets out on a weekly basis. I mean, this was like a major thing that was going on while Gypsy was in prison. Okay. All right. Let me find the first one I want to show you guys. Is this one? No. Okay. Okay. Now, this is from Gypsy's emails, prison emails, obviously. Okay. Some of this stuff I did not know. Some of it I did, but some of it I did not know. Let me, okay. So the top one here, Gypsy's writing about stuff that she wants them to bring, or like when she gets out, like number 2, clothes, my lingerie, all of the clothes I had purchased for me. I believe you had boxed them up and put them in Mia's room. This is when she's getting ready to be released. Number 3, black boots that you bought for is going to be putting together my dress, a box, and when is it time he will send for it, so I can wear my boots and outfit out of here. Okay, so this is what she wanted to wear out of there. Number 4, all the books that someone had kept for me, like Star Wars books, dictionaries, etc. Number 5, my autograph book. Oh, her autograph book. Remember those autograph books? I don't know if you guys were kids. Did you have autograph books where you would walk around and like when you're at Disneyland, you'd have Minnie Mouse sign it. Or if you saw a celebrity, you'd have your autograph book and they could sign it. I don't know. Did Gypsy have an autograph book? It sounds like it. Well, I thought she never went anywhere. Why would she have an autograph book? Number 6, this one's interesting. My mother's dresses that were saved for me. My mother's dresses that were saved for me. Number 7, my yarn blankets, the multicolor square blanket, the really soft, we're getting to the point, but you got to listen to this list. The really soft multicolored blanket. Number 8, here we go. The legal paperwork to the trust Anna Costa created. The legal paperwork to the trust Anna Costa created. Anna Costa is a last name. We all know what a trust fund is, I think. She adds, he gave me specific instructions for me and only me to contact him upon my release. The trust fund he created for me will not be combined with the trust you and Dad control. She's writing this to Christy. So now we know of 2 trust funds. We've got 2 trust funds here. The trust fund he created for me is one trust fund Gypsy has. And she's instructing it will not be combined with the trust fund you and Dad control, as Mr. Anacosta will only transfer it in my name. Now, I know many of you know this, but some of you may not. And I'm going to play a little clip about Gypsy lying her ass off about this. Mr. Anacosta, as you can see down there, is a prominent film and television writer, producer, and novelist known for creating and producing several acclaimed true crime, blah, blah, blah. What was his first major project? You've got it, folks. The Act. He is the guy that co-created and was the showrunner of The Act. And what did he create for Gypsy? He created a trust fund for Gypsy for when she gets out. Okay? All right. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind as we go on. The next little email. Hell. She's writing to someone else. This is Gypsy writing. Hell. Do not mean any offense, but I am not famous. I am just a normal woman doing her prison time. No, I did not get paid for all the media stuff. No, I did not get paid for all the media stuff. Legally, I cannot profit off of my crime, she writes. Legally, I cannot profit off of my crime. The TV show The Act was done without my permission. Wow. So The Act was done without your permission, and you don't get paid for the media stuff because you can't profit off of your crime, but you seem to have a trust fund from the man that co-created the Hulu series, The Act. Are we getting that straight? I think we got that straight, right? Do we get it? We got it. Good. All right. We got a good audio clip coming up here in a minute. All right. Now, the next one down. She's talking about her and Ryan's marriage. Number 2, they are hesitant. She's talking about Rod and Christy. They are hesitant about allowing me to have joint marital money, especially when it is possible 6-figure book deal. I thought you couldn't profit off your crime. My father wants to make sure that get a divorce, that if I get a divorce at any point, he doesn't get half my earnings. We never signed a prenuptial agreement, by the way. I want to add that my parents have created a trust fund account that contains my earnings from this new upcoming documentary, which is around $96,000 after taxes. All right, let me get this straight. So you got the trust fund from the guy from the act. And now you got around 100K, 100,000 approximately net, meaning after taxes. That's after the taxes have been paid. 100,000 coming in from the upcoming documentary. Okay, this is when she's getting out of prison, talking about the upcoming documentary with Melissa Moore, and then the series, right? All right. Which is solely controlled by my father under him. And if anything should happen to them, my sister then becomes caretaker to the account, ensuring that blank never gains access, meaning her husband, partner, never gains access. However, I've learned that even upon my release, I cannot have full control of that account. They want to somewhat withhold it from me until such a time that I prove I am responsible and my marriage is solid. This was planned without my knowledge. So she's pissed off about this a little bit. Rod and Christy taking the money. They got their own trust fund. They got a separate trust fund for Gypsy, but she doesn't have full control of it at this time. They've advised her she doesn't have full control. Why? Why doesn't she? Well, I think it has something to do with, no, I can't get paid for all the media stuff because I can't legally profit from my crime. Now, I don't know of all the legalities going on, and there's probably tax reasons why they set up trust funds and stuff like that. But guys, yeah. And of course, Rod and Christy didn't want Gypsy to have control of that money because they know who she is. They know she wants to go to the mall all the time and wants to go on Alaska vacations all the time and buy the designer whatever all the time, right? And flash stuff. Walmart trips add up. All right. So, they want to somewhat withhold it from me until such a time that they can prove I'm responsible. This was planned without my knowledge by my father. I didn't have any discussion about it until they just took it upon themselves to do it for my own protection. So needless to say, I was blindsided. Now making plans for my future book, I am faced with the decision to allow my parents to be my negotiators for my book deal and then ultimately add the earnings to the trust account they are controlling, or to take the responsibility of signing documents for my book deal to where he, meaning Ryan, is included in these negotiations taking place of my parents. And because I am incarcerated, I need a power of attorney to make legal decisions for me when it comes to financial decisions. Both my parents and have the power to do so. So they had power. Signs on these documents. They had power of attorney for her. And in my stead, while I am incarcerated, it would only be to sign for me. My book earnings would not be to start rolling in. This money will not start rolling in until after my release, to which the payments would go directly to me, but in all caps, if any, allow my parents to sign, then they would have the payments made to them. So what she's saying here is, here's why she's upset. She has a problem. If she allows Rod and Christy to sign the book deal, then the payments will be made to them. But she can get her own power of attorney and have them come straight to her. Anyways, the whole thing about this is about the money. Okay. My whole point about all of this is there was quite a bit of money. There was a lot of money. And at the same time, she pretends like there was no money. And so we're going to listen to a little audio clip. And then I got two other screenshots here to show you. This was Christy and Gypsy on the Tori Spelling podcast. Let's take a listen to this. It's about the act and the monies and the whole thing.
About Joey King playing you.
I think okay, so I did not watch all of the act. I watched probably about 30 minutes of it when I got out. She watched it all, but I think Joey King did an amazing job playing me. I even DM'd her like last January, February, and I told her congratulations. I think you got my stamp of approval. You did a wonderful job. And so
did she respond?
Yeah. She said that, you know, she hoped that she portrayed me to the fullest extent, that she hopes, you know, it met my approval. It was a huge undertaking, but it was a great exchange. And I really appreciate her courage for taking on such a complex role and story. So
for her not visiting with Gypsy, you know, you normally meet a the character you're going to play. Because Michelle Dean didn't allow it, and that's
Christy. Well, you know, Joey King didn't visit with Gypsy. Joey King probably didn't want to visit with Gypsy. I will give the act kudos for one thing. They cut Gypsy Rose the hell out. The only reason that co-creator set up a trust fund for Gypsy is because he felt guilty. But usually when these kind of docudramas are made, you know, based on real life, they don't really want the input of the person. Not too much, you know, maybe a little bit, but they're not out they're supposedly out to show the truth. The act failed miserably because the only information they had was really, you know, what Mommy, Dead, and Dearest had put out there. But even with that, I think that the people that co-created it had an inkling that Gypsy wasn't this little mild-mannered little victim, right? And so they did cut her out. And now Christy's hot about it here. She's talking to Joey King, didn't even talk to her, didn't even contact her. All right.
So
for her not visiting with Gypsy, you know, you normally meet the character you're going to play. Because Michelle Dean didn't allow it, and that's
the producer.
Okay, so I'm going to show you some prison emails about Michelle Dean, just FYI, refresher for OGs that know who she is, and for the new people. Michelle Dean wrote an article in BuzzFeed that came out. That article is what the act was based on. So a lot of times they, you know, these co-creators or these showrunners, they're called for, you know, a documentary series. They find like an interesting article or an interesting book, you know, when we're talking about this true crime cases, and they found Michelle Dean's article in BuzzFeed and they optioned it, meaning they contacted Michelle Dean and said, hey, we'd like to option your work and we'd like to base a series on your article about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And so Christy's pissed off at Michelle Dean now, and we're going to hear why. Okay.
Yeah, one of the producers.
That's a whole nother story. Yeah. And but I even was like, Joey King nailed it, you know, the voice and everything.
I thought
the way
for
she
sure she had
herself.
come to visit you.
No. There's a lot behind the act that nobody talked about, and that was, you know, and essentially Hulu and the producers stole my story and
stole my story. Girlfriend, you murdered your mom. It was international news. No one, it's called in the public domain. In the public domain. Okay. If they would have stole your story, you could have sued them. But it was a noteworthy case that was in the public domain. And have you guys have heard of the unauthorized biography of XYZ? What does that mean? The person that it's written about didn't authorize it. But guess what? People can write biographies about people. When it's called unauthorized, it means the person didn't consent to the author to write it, usually because it's controversial. But yeah, you can do that. If it's a public figure, you can do that. She's got some notion that she's not a public figure, like an infamous person. They stole my story. Give me a break.
Huge successful show out of it. Didn't pay me life rights.
Didn't pay me.
Didn't come to talk to me. Didn't have any conversations to know what was accurate, what was not accurate.
I think they knew you probably were a liar, so they weren't going to ask you any questions.
So to this day, a lot of people are like, they will go off of the events that they've seen and the details that they've seen on the act. And they are incorrect because it was filler. It was filled in by producers.
Well, Sheldon ghosted us after,
True. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Christy said, and Michelle ghosted us. Michelle Dean. Michelle ghosted. She's still bitter. Michelle Dean ghosted us. And that's BITTER, not BIDDER, by the way. Christy's still bitter.
But
that's all, girl.
Sorry about that. But essentially, I spoke out from behind bars and let them know I don't support this. Like, this is wrong. You're taking a tragic event and you are Hollywooding it up.
This is rich. This is rich coming from her, right? You're taking a tragic event and you're Hollywooding it on up. What has she been doing since day one almost? What has she been doing with this tragic event?
And now people, when they write me, they're confused because they don't know fact from fiction. That's why I encourage so many times people are like, I've never heard of you. I tell them, go watch HBO documentary, Mommy, Dead and Dearest.
Notice, go watch Mommy, Dead and Dearest. That's my documentary.
Instead of saying, go watch the act. Because,
and you know what, most of you probably have seen the act. For the few that you haven't, it's basically kind of based on Mommy, Dead and Dearest. It's a little snarky towards her. It shows some things, but there's nothing like groundbreaking in it, right? But think about this. She hated the act for a few reasons, right? Where she thought it didn't portray her well, I guess. I don't know, Well, I hope when our docuseries gets done, I don't know if she's mad about this, she's really going to be mad about that. Let me tell you.
One is factual and one is Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, the act was so over dramatic when there's so much drama already.
Oh,
my life is actually dramatic.
It's like,
Gypsy, my life is actually dramatic. Did you hear her? My life is actually dramatic. No kidding. You murdered your mom.
Like, why?
Like, what did they over dramatize?
What didn't they over dramatize?
Really?
I leave that
like some stuff I just had to roll my head, and it's been a while.
Notice Christy can't bring one example. Not one example. What did they over dramatize? Oh, a lot of things. I just got to roll my head, whatever that means. Same thing as highest bidder, BITTER.
But what I did was with In Touch, I debunked the thing.
Oh my God. Okay, I got to back that up just a little bit. Christy's debunking, guys. She's debunking.
Stuff I just had to roll my head, and it's been a while, but what I did was with In Touch, I debunked the things that were wrong.
In Touch, I got to go find that article. What I did in Touch was debunk the things that were wrong. Oh, what? Christy, you don't debunk anything. You don't know anything. You're ignorant of the whole story. You have no idea what the story even is. But I love the attitude you're giving. It's bitter, BIDDER.
And yeah, I wasn't gonna allow them to just say, yeah, this is how it is. No, boo-boo, that's not how it was.
No, boo-boo.
So I got to say a lot of things, but it was, a lot of people are like the guinea pigs from what we were told. Cause like,
Oh yeah, people.
Oh my God, the guinea pigs. Okay, now I remember this. Okay, like they're breaking some look, I'm going to tell you, she didn't have guinea pigs, she had cats. Wow, that you seriously? So you mean she actually had cats, but they showed how could they do that? How could they like it's a big deal? Like who cares? Like the priorities of these people, they're the way their mind functions.
And I had guinea pigs.
Yeah,
Like I had cats.
but I think Joey King was allergic to cats.
Oh, brother.
And that's why they chose guinea pigs. And they're like, oh,
Oh.
she did leave them all at the house. There wasn't any still in the
Oh,
house.
wait. Sorry.
Just
I barely
little
heard
things.
that. You didn't have guinea pigs.
I didn't have guinea pigs. No,
She had
I had
cats.
cats.
Oh.
So there was just like.
But is that something they would know? Like, who did they talk
Well,
to?
I think Joey
to
King
even-
was allergic to cats.
Oh.
See, Michelle Dean had called Rod and I and did a great article
She was one of the.
on this story. And she called us and was like, oh, look, Hulu has reached out. They really loved the article, and we had our conversations and, she was like, I promise anything they give me, I'm going to cut it, down the line, just going to get half. And then she ghosted. Then I was like, me and Gypsy had a talk on the phone and I reached out to her again. I was like, look, what you're doing is wrong, yada, yada, yada.
She didn't owe Gypsy anything. Who knows if that really happened? But why would she have to give Gypsy anything? It's not how it works. The story, meaning the case, is in the public domain. No one has to pay Gypsy for it at all. It's common knowledge. It's in the public domain.
And she was like, well, I was depressed. It takes 2 seconds to say, how you doing, or whatever. And at that time, I was so.
I bet Michelle Dean doesn't like them. I bet Michelle Dean figured out Christy's number and Gypsy's number. Want to ask, that this is what I think.
Frustrated with it all because there was no promises, like, was like, can I have it in writing? And, oh no, I'm good. It'll be good. I'm going to give Gypsy half of what I make off of it. And she didn't. So like she blocked me on everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I was a little more ruthless with her.
Oh, you're hardcore, Christy. You're ruthless. Let me hear how.
I was pissed, to say the least.
And I was just in prison and didn't have control over anything going on.
And that's why Michelle.
It's your life story.
Right.
What a violation.
That's why she didn't want any of them to talk to anybody they were playing because they knew I was going to say something.
You're probably going to debunk something, right?
I'd have said something, like, oh my goodness.
You hear her talking?
Wait, no.
Hey, here. Yes. She just wants to say something.
She has a lot to say.
She's being so
sometimes.
good.
She is. She's holding it together so good right now.
Because she's just looking at us and kicking away in her little chair there and eating her toy.
Was there any portrayal of any character? It's your life, but I mean, anyone in your life that it was a character in the movie that they did get right? Do you think?
No, they got.
No. Christy goes, no. Nobody. What? Crazy.
They got Aaliyah all wrong. Her name was Lacey, and the show they played her as a disrespect to her mom and everything. And
yeah, it's just about the money. Gigi, it's just about the money. That's what they're mad about. It's just about the money. That's who these people are. They don't.
She's totally opposite of what they portrayed her to be. I wasn't really in it.
This is so funny. Christy's mad because they didn't have a character. I wasn't really in it. Like, she's like waiting, probably watching the series. Every episode comes out. Where am I? When is the Christy character going to be in it? I wasn't really in it. And she's probably mad about that too, because she's an important figure. She debunks shit. She should be in it.
Too much, except for one scene. But
Did they get the story of Nicholas right at all?
pretty much,
Like, how would she know about Nicholas? How would she know about his life? Like, Christy's the new authority, on the story. Well, I wasn't really in it though, but
I think he was the only one I think that I saw was that, okay, there's not too much, to complain about. But then there were, and I felt sorry for the actor because I'm like, oh God, if you would just know the truth, they're making you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, I'm a blunt person and I just say it like it is, but.
What are they talking about? The character? Is she talking about the guy that played Nick? They're making him. Are they mad because they portrayed Nick as being autistic? Because they did in the act, they did kind of get that right. Okay.
As far as Dee Dee, I think they did really well. When Rod watched it, he only watched about the same amount as her, and he was like, "Is that Patricia Arquette?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh my God, I'll never look at her the same again." Because they did, she didn't look nothing like herself.
Right.
I'm gonna go, but it was so nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure meeting you. I hope to meet you in person one day.
Liar. No, you don't. Remember the ice bucket challenge? Remember that? I don't think so. For those of you that don't know, and this is the end of that clip, and I'm going to show you the prison emails that go along with this. But when this was going on, when this Tori Spelling's podcast was going on, they were doing this ice bucket challenge, and you guys might remember the really bad picture of Gypsy with the ice over her head. Well, Christy did it, and then you got to challenge the next person to do it. And Christy, who had just gotten off this interview with, I think she honed in on the interview. I don't think she was actually invited, but Christy's, she's there to debunk boo-boo, she named Tori Spelling. I'm sure Tori Spelling blocked her and was like, no, I don't think Tori Spelling ever did it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think Tori Spelling did the ice bucket challenge that Christy challenged her to. I think Tori, and I don't know a lot about Tori, but I think she got off this interview with these two idiots and was like, oh Christ, what was that about? In another clip that I don't have, but maybe next time I'll play it because it's kind of funny. Gypsy, Tori asked her, so who did you see playing you? You guys have heard this before. And she's like, Millie Bobby Brown. Right. You're lucky Joey King played you because Joey's actually a very pretty girl. But, yeah, I think I would have liked Millie Bobby Brown. Oh, God. I mean, all right. We've got some, this is some couple of juicy little tidbits here that I'm going to show you guys. All right. Now, when they were talking about Michelle Dean and Gypsy says, well, there's a whole story behind that. Yeah, we can't go into it. They were like hesitant to, say, but then they went and said, oh, she promised us half and then ghosted. Here's a prison email about that. Okay. So, happy Easter, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay. So about if you should or shouldn't watch the act, I would say go ahead and watch it. The only reason I spoke negatively about it, it wasn't the show itself that was upset. I was upset, I guess, about it was that co-producer Dean, that bad Michelle Dean, went behind my back and stole my story. What? You were in the international news, Gypsy. No one can steal your story. It's in the international news. Went behind my back and stole my story with all the rights to use my name and the events that happened. They could anyways, Gypsy. It's public domain. And she made this show without giving me a single red penny of its earnings. That was dirty and low of her to do that to me and my family. Therefore, of course, I was upset. However, it is a good depiction of my life from before. I thought you never watched it, Gypsy. You have always maintained you wouldn't watch it. However, she says, I'm going to reiterate this, it was a good depiction of my life from before. Guess you did watch it. I am actually no longer engaged. That would be to Ken, FYI. He left me about 6 months ago. That was my first real broken heart experience. So now I'm single again. My pillow is my new main squeeze, LOL. So you live in Mississippi? My family lives in the South as well, cut off Louisiana. That is where I'm planning to live when I get out. I'm going back to live with my father and stepmother until I get a place of my own. This is pre-Ryan. When is your birthday? Mine? I'll be coming up on 29 myself. Anywho, you are welcome to email me anytime. The emails take a day or two to go through, so it's not like IMs. I wish it was that fast. I hope you have a lovely day. Stay safe out there. Smiley face. All right. Switching gears here. The last one is going to be about money, but this one kind of blew me away. Hello, I'm okay. Now that I have time to sit and email, how are you? I totally understand if you all need to talk about things regarding and my dad knowing about the project. This is about, let me just, hold on. I did tell you I had wrote a letter to a senator. This is when this is when Ken breaks up with her, okay? 2019. And when Ken breaks up with her, she is hell bent on trying to get out of prison. And so she starts this campaign to get out early. And so when she's talking about writing the senator, she's talking about getting this campaign going. All the details are in one of my deep dives, but that's the gist of what's going on here. Okay. I wrote a letter to the senator, but I would like to fill her in on everything. I would stress to her to keep it completely private and know that she would obey that. It is no longer a part of our inner she is no longer a part of our inner circle. We all parted ways. Okay, here she's talking about Fancy. She's talking about that she parted ways with Fancy. Okay, it's just kind of a side note, but that's who she's talking about. I have developed a strong dislike for the media and just turned down an interview with Dr. Oz. That would be the interview with Melissa Moore. So here's the only reason why Gypsy turned down that interview. Partly, Ken told Gypsy about that. One of the reasons he was breaking up with her, or breaking off the engagement actually, was because of all the media and all the press. I think that was partly a lie, because if you look at the timeline, immediately after Raina comes to visit Gypsy, Ken breaks up with her immediately. And Gypsy even clocks it, even like mentions it. Oh, so your mom comes to visit me and then you break our engagement. Okay. But one of the reasons Ken said was because of the media. All right. And so I think because of that is the only reason she turned down the interview with Dr. Oz at that time. It wasn't like, because we know Gypsy is a limelight whore, right? She wants the limelight. But at that time, she was trying to show Ken, look, I turned down the interview with Dr. Oz, right? Okay. All right. I just turned down an interview with Dr. Oz, which would have paid me, you guys, paid me $5,000 to do it. We're getting paid for those interviews. I thought you didn't get paid for those interviews. But still, I refused. Oh, well, you're such taking the moral high ground, Gypsy, right? I think it would be good to partner up with my dad. And if they promise to keep it a secret as well, I would like copies. They're talking about this campaign of the correspondence from the state senator if it's not too much trouble. I am curious. Are y'all asking for a commute of sentence or a pardon? See, she's looking for a pardon or her sentence to be commuted. I do need any information about my, and if you do need any information about my institutional behavior, such as classes I have taken or achievements, I can get you character references from who? From who? Ted Bundy? Who would be your character reference? I do need my sentence and judgment. Do you need my sentence and judgment paperwork? I am set for a parole hearing in December of 2021, but I can only be paroled as early as 2023. Anyways, I am doing okay. I am trying to focus on the class I'm teaching and my own education. The breakup really shook me to the core. It is really sad. The truth of it is he is a former heroin addict and had been clean for 5 years. Wait. What? She is just telling this person Ken was a former heroin addict. I mean, is this a lie? Is this her? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, Ken, if it's not true, I think this is grounds to just leave right now if you already haven't. I mean, for her to say this to somebody, and then of course the other part of me sharing this was Dr. Oz was going to pay me $5,000 to do it, but I refused, right? So she says he was a former heroin addict, had been clean for 5 years. Then in August, he relapsed. Listen to this. He relapsed because the media attention and the mass judgment that was placed on him. Okay, either this is a crock of shit, right? Either this is a crock of shit that he was ever a heroin addict and that he relapsed, or that he relapsed because of media attention. Give me a break. All right. The next one down is getting 800 from Rod, and I'll tell you why this is kind of important. He writes, "That's fine, Dad. All I would like is for about $800 to," that's a lot of money in commissary, by the way, $800. "All I would like is for about $800 to be put on my books as soon as y'all get paid, so I'm good on canteen for a while. I can budget to have that canteen for a few months without, you put mom put it on monthly for a while, and whatever else, I can absolutely go to whatever." Okay, and she's talking about extra money now, and I'll explain to you what this is. Then she adds, "And whatever else can absolutely go to whatever needs monetary attention." Okay. Rod and Christy took, asked Gypsy, remember, Ken didn't want any more media attention. I think that was not really true of why he broke up with her. Doesn't really sound true, right? I think his mom came and his mom was like, okay. But he used the excuse of media attention. And so at this time, Rod had written to Gypsy, "Look, there's this Japanese media group. They want to pay us 10 grand for this interview. And we really need the money to pay for Mia's college. Will you do it? It'll be in Japan. Ken won't know. It'll be in Japan." And she was like, "Yeah, all right. Put $800 on my books. And yeah, the rest can go to whatever you guys need." Because she'd still be in prison for a few years. She couldn't use it, right? Rest if you need for whatever else you guys need to spend the money on. She had the other trust funds. They had a trust fund. It was interesting. What happened to their trust fund and why did they need $10,000 right then? Sounds like everybody's got a little bit of a spending problem over at the Blanchards. Yeah. I mean, I like to spend money too, but This was a lot of money they were going through, right? I mean, that's a lot of money. So that is what's going on. And looks like we have come to the end of this live stream. It went fast. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out with me and my chickens. Thank you for hanging out with me and Kikins. It's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do work hard on these live streams. I hope you guys, learned something new or had a refresher on something or whatever. I want to get to a few of your comments before we go, though. So let's get to a few more before we've got to call it a night. We got chill tarts at $4.99. If you have stuff that wasn't put out, Brie, why haven't you done it yet? Yeah, I mean, I love the emoji. I love the total crying emoji. I mean, I was laughing. I was laughing when I was making that. I was making the little poster things to show you guys tonight. I'm like, wow, these people, right? These people. Gamma Goulet, love you, Gamma. They know damn well that nothing in those emails do shit but prove what we know. That's why they haven't, point blank, period. Thank you, Gamma Goulet. Exactly. Next up, Pink Porcupine coming in with $19.99. Thank you, Pink Porcupine. With this liar, it's less what happened and more which version today. Exactly. And you know what? I don't think any of them, and they're all liars. Christy included, they're all liars. Ken, all of them. Ryan, all of them. Okay. I don't think they can keep all the lies straight. I don't think they know which lie, right? Thanks for that, Pink Porcupine. Next up, Citizen Jenks. Love Citizen Jenks. Where's the famous case file that was lost in Christie's dusty hoarded home? Right. Remember that, you guys? Remember them talking, Christie's got all the files. We're going to go through the files. Bree's going to get the truth out. We're going to all get the truth out. When did that happen? Did I miss that part? Was I not around for that part? I don't remember that part. But yeah, where's that dusty old file, Christy? Chris says, 8647, member for 5 months. Thanks, Chris. I hate when her acolytes say they can't make me hate you, Gypsy. Ugh, vomit and juicy. Right? I mean, I think except for your children, every relationship, even your spouse, is contingent. If your spouse went out and did heinous crimes, are you going to still be with them? I think the only, you would never probably forsake your child, right? But every other and this isn't even this is just a person on the internet. These are freaking parasocial relationships. Nothing you could do, Gypsy, could ever make me turn away from you. I mean, it's like, get mental help. Seriously, get there. You can get it for free. Go get mental help. Okay. Thank you, Chris, for that. Mireille, 5822, $4.99. Honestly, it sounded like fear about the messages getting out. Well, that could be two, Mireille. That one person was like, and bam, Bree will get it out. And bam. But then some say, I hope they don't get, well, they were thinking that the content creators in the anti-Gypsy space were going to ignore certain things that Nick did and only put bad things out about Gypsy. And that just wasn't the case. I looked. The mother of Baggins is in the house, $1.99. And now they will come out with proof pics. Fast flash. Yeah, right? We'll see. We'll see. Thanks for being here, mother of Baggins. Jill B is back with $27.99 Canadian dollars. Thanks for all your hard work and dedication to this debunking and the dedication to the truth train. Well, thank you, Jill. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. But thank you for being a loyal member, always being here and supporting our channel. We got Beth Redden, 5850, member for 3 months. Is Bree going to use, I can't even say the whole thing. I see it. Is Bree going to use Chat GPT to prove us wrong? Let's go, choo choo. I think that day has come and gone. I don't think she even tried to use Chat GPT. I think it was just kind of a lost cause, and they stopped talking about it in the Discord. It was kind of like, let's not talk about that anymore, right? Chill Tarts is back with $1.99. It's about their own egos, not the truth. Absolutely. A lot of big egos. A lot of big egos and a lot of low self-esteem in this story with the people surrounding her. Next up, Citizen Jenks is back. Bria's back on the new TikTok. The 9 million hacked account had Bria as a user. I bet the situation is the same. Brie is Gyp's chain bulldog. Yeah, she is. Oh, is she back on the new TikTok? Oh, okay. Wow. All right. I maybe something's happened since I've been live, but are you talking about the old account, or is the new account, has it been reinstated? Don't tell me it has. All right. I hope not. I'm going to myself on the head. But whatever, regardless, Citizen Jenks, Bree has remained her loyal bulldog through and through. It seems like I can tell you this. And of course, I don't know all of the inside baseball on their relationship, but in that one Discord that I had access to, I did not see Gypsy caring about Brie at all. Maybe they did it in private. That could be, but I didn't see it. And sometimes you should give your friend a little pat on the back. And you know what she was going through at the time, right? This is when Brie was going through it. And Gypsy wasn't really there. Not in that sense. And all the other people were there for her, but she wasn't. Bree still stays by her side. She still thinks Gypsy's a good person, and Gypsy was abused. Bree, at least Bree says it still. I don't know. Okay, where are we at? Next up, Beth Ridden, $5 super sticker. Thank you, Beth. That's very kind. Dazed and confused, $2. Credit to Aunt Edna. We are all Becca's broads pros. All right, I'll accept that, just so it's not Becca babes, okay? I love it. Thanks, Dazed. Next up, we got Mighty Mulatto coming in with $2. Imagine retiring to help Gypsy F and Rose. Yeah, the one woman in the right. I've just retired, Gypsy. I'm going to get my own little P.O. box. I'm going to be on the internet. I'm going to have my cat on the internet reporting copyright. We're both on it, Gypsy. I mean, that's your life, really? You just retired and that's your plan? Sad. Manic Mondays, £24.99. ATP Ryan should have got the 9 million TikTok account. Yeah, no kidding, right? Right? He should have gone to court for that account. He really should have. Next up, The Beach is back with $5. Gypsy and her crew should all be banned. They're all, yeah. Could any kind of criminal charges be made? Thanks for keeping it real, Becca. Have a great weekend, everyone. That's a good question about a criminal conspiracy. So if I highly doubt a lawyer would take this case unless like somebody like Winebox Poppy, if he could prove that she actually took down his channel that he'd had for years and years, and he lost like a ton of videos and he lost an income stream. If he could prove that they did it, like this mass thing against him, and that he would have to prove their intention was not, copyright strikes. It's a possibility. I think I'm not a legal expert. I'm just thinking, legally. But it would have to be something like loss of income would have to be, like if somebody, like, let's say she took down my channel and I could prove, loss of income that it was a criminal conspiracy, that what they were doing, it wasn't, they were doing it with ill intentions. It was just to silence me because they didn't like what I was saying. And if she was, in the background using wrong addresses and stuff like that, that would be really good evidence to show their intent, what their intentions were. So, yeah, it's a good question. Citizen Jenks gifted 1 Becca Scoops membership. Thank you, Citizen Jenks. It's very kind of you. Thank you. Jessie May, 1993 is here. I work with autistic clients. This case is so awful. Jessie May, God bless you for doing that, doing the Lord's work. Yeah, it's one of the reasons this case, at least once a week, I get an email about someone asking about Nick and the autism aspect of this case. Next up, we got April 168, member for 9 months. Thank you, April. I really appreciate it. Choo choo, send the train to South Wales, UK. I would love to. I went to, I don't know if I was I wasn't in South Wales. I was in England when I was 18. When I graduated from high school, my parents sent me to Europe for a month. It was a wonderful trip. It was great. And I love the UK. Love Great Britain. Thanks for being here, April. Next up, we got Shorty Pie 7097, $5. Becca, please stop manipulating. Please stop manipulating me. According to Bree, you are manipulating the Discord thread when you read them. She found me out. Shorty Pie, you found me out. I actually Actually, it's not me. It's my cat. Keekins is hypnotizing all of you when I read the Discord messages. You are put in a trance to believe something. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up. I'm just reading them verbatim. Okay. Next up, Sheila 74, $49.99. Wow, Sheila, super, super thankful for you. Thank you so much. That's so generous. We thank you for all your hard work. Thank you. Really kind. Thank you, Sheila. I hope you have a great weekend. Next up, we've got Dee Dee's Karma. I love this name, Dee Dee's Karma. I love the picture. I love that picture of Dee Dee. Thank you, Dee Dee's Karma. Thank you. And don't get me so emotional. Petty Universes. And yeah, I love Petty Universe. Exactly. Dee Dee's Karma. I watch Swoop too. Yeah. Petty University. Thank you, Dee Dee's Karma. And thanks for being here. Oh, Diana's in the house. Diana, justice for Dee Dee. I hope you're doing well, Diana. You guys know Diana. She was very ill for a long time. And here's Diana with her comment, justice for Dee Dee. Her birthday is coming May 3. Please remember. Diana, I've seen talk around. People are talking about, people are going to do something. I definitely would like to be a part of something. Yeah, definitely. I don't know what day of the week it is, but I will definitely do a live stream all dedicated to it around her birthday. So let's all plan to get together for Dee Dee's birthday over on the Becca Scoops channel. And I'm sure other people will be doing the same thing. Good to see you, Diana. Next up, Chill Tarts is back with $4.99. I've never said Dee Dee was perfect. Well, nobody's perfect, right? But did she abuse her child? Evidence points to no. Exactly. Did she deserve to be murdered and defamed? Absolutely no. Chill Tarts, thanks for keeping it real. Dee Dee's Karma is back. Won't do videos of Melissa Moore because she is worse. Yeah, I know. Dee Dee's Karma. I know. Citizen Jenks is back. Melissa Moore made blood money and found more blood money. Yeah, she is just gross. I heard, I don't know if this is true, that her and her new husband bought a palatial mansion in Sicily or somewhere on the Italian coast. Must be nice. Must be nice. That's Dee Dee's blood right there. That's Dee Dee's blood money right there. Next up, Main Chick Carrie, $1.99. That snoozing kitty is precious. Thank you. Thank you so much, Main Chick Carrie. I love her. She's giving a bath. She's doing a bath time right now. Bath time. Chill Tarts is back. Oh, got it. They forgot to ask, are you pretending to be mentally redacted? Thanks for clarifying that, Gypsy. We know you're here. Okay, Chill Tarts. Next up, a German decat, $4.99. If you're comfy answering, how confident are you the production company will portray the story accurately? Yay, you're gonna tell me. My name is pronounced Gurmandicat. I am positive. Okay, if I had to put a percentage on it, 99.9. 99.9. The production company is on board. It's why they want to do it. It's what makes this case interesting, right? Not to tell the other version. Everyone knows the other version. They want to tell the version we've been talking about. So that's what got you guys all here, is what got them interested. They're like, what? Say what? Yeah. And I can tell you this, I wish I could show you, but just in the last few days, Mitch had to make this. So they like these little, I guess they call them sizzle reels. I don't know what they're really called, but Mitch had to make this 3-minute one. It is so good. It is so good. I wish I could show you guys. Worked really hard on it. It is so good. But yeah, they want the truth, right? Production companies in general don't have an agenda. I think what happened with Mommy, Dead, and Dearest is that they were just kind of following the rest of the media, who were going by what the prosecutor was portraying. And so the media jumped on what the prosecutor was saying. Hence, Mommy, Dead, and Dearest, I think they thought they were reporting the truth. They didn't look into the case hard enough. I think that's what happened. Okay. Next up, Mighty Mulatto is back $20. Thanks, Mighty Mulatto. That's very generous. Gypsy was an adult dependent daughter and needed Dee Dee to take care of her for life. They shit on Dee Dee, saying she was capable, but this trust business says opposite. She became a pay pig for her family to even bother with her. Absolutely. Now we know why. I mean, we all kind of knew it was all about money, but it's nice to see the confirmation with the trust funds and Gypsy saying, I'm blindsided. My dad's got control of this. They got their own trust fund. I got my own trust fund. It you know, money, what's the old saying? Money is the root of all evil. Thanks, Mighty. Manic Mondays 24. The grape lie. Yeah, Becca, please do an in-depth video for new people that believe her, and let's show them the facts for the survivors anywhere. Absolutely. Absolutely, Manic Mondays. We've got a kind of a list of 3. I'll add that of kind of like want to get back into doing some more in depth. It does take a lot of time. It's kind of hard because like we're working on this behind the scenes docuseries. So if I'm not working on like doing this live stream or doing the up-to-date videos, but I'll find some time. I really do want to do another deep dive into a lot of the stuff that's come out since we did our old deep dives. Okay, Manic Mondays, thanks for that. And thanks for the donation. Citizen Jinx is back, $10. Thank you, Citizen Jinx. Very, very generous. While we will never know all of the money everyone made from Dee Dee's murder, the sum makes me sick. Melissa Moore, Gypsy, Rod, Christy, Andrea Dunlop et al. Absolutely. Dr. Phil, his series on Gypsy made a lot of money, made him money, I'm sure, right? Dr. Oz did a few interviews with Christy, got ratings, generated income. I wonder, you know what? That would be a great question if we could really figure out all the money, including the media people, the Blanchards. Wonder how many millions it would be that Dee Dee's blood has made for these people. It would be interesting to find out. Citizen Jenks, $5. It was cats, not guinea pigs, is the same as the lady. Yes, The lady doth protest too much from Pulp Fiction, not Hamlet. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that, Citizen Jenks. Next up, Queen V, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Queen V. That's very kind of you. So glad that you could be here with us. Just Jen XOXO, 5 pounds. Becca, well said. I hate this pic of Gypsy on the red carpet. Should be Green Mile. Exactly. Glad TikTok banned her account. Rage baiting pissed everyone off. XX. Thank you so much, Just Jen. You're one of our favorites. Thanks for being with us. And I think you're overseas, so it's got to be late. Mika Jones, 78, $9.99. Becca, you're like Judge Judy. Oh, well, thank you. That's a compliment. You make them look stupid with plain old common sense. Thank you, Mika. I love you. And thanks for being here. Thanks for the donation. I loved you back, Mika. And we got Pink Porcupine coming back. Her story, it's Dee Dee's story. Exactly. It's Dee Dee's story. So a lot of people are saying we got to stop. And I've stopped calling it the Gyp verse a long time ago. But if you're going to call it any verse, it's the Dee Dee verse, right? Yeah, it's Dee Dee's story. She is the victim and she is deplorable, meaning Gypsy. Exactly. Got a few more. Chill Tarts. Sorry for the super chats, feeling snarky. Chill Tarts, you go for it, girlfriend. You want to, yeah, you know what? Go for it. No problem. Jessie May, 1993, $2. Becca, if you want to connect regarding autism diagnosis, psyched. Okay. Well, Jessie May, if you want to email me, please do. I do want to connect regarding autism diagnosis. I'd love to. Thank you. No shit Shirley. Okay, love the name. No shit Shirley, 5 pounds. Alive, live you. I think it's supposed to be love you, Becca from the UK. Love you back. No shit Shirley. Thank you for staying up so late. And last but not least, guys, we got Pancakes, 609 Pancakes. I've been doing a little bit more on TikTok. In fact, I'll make a little announcement. I know Pancakes is big over on TikTok, $4.99. I'm so thankful for you and Mitch and Keekins and all your hard work. Oh, thank you, Pancakes. It's really kind. Excited for the doc. Thank you. The truth train prevails. Justice for Dee Dee. Well, Pancakes, I'm glad you're the last one. Guys, we are thinking about doing like this show is very formal over here. And I know a lot of you guys don't have TikTok, but I am thinking about maybe trying I have a lot of people that write to me that now I sound like, who says that? I have a lot of people that write to me. Oh, I know who it is. I don't want to say who it is. I don't want to